Hello, online crew. How are you? Today, I'm going to talk to you about how do you actually break through your fears to build your belief that you can actually do it. This is one of the main things that holds people back in our industry is the fear that they're not good enough. What are people going to think? What if somebody says no? What if somebody doesn't answer my message? Those kind of things. And the belief that you can actually do it, that you can actually be successful, that you can actually make a lot of money. So let's have a chat about it, because I find that a lot of people are in this industry of entrepreneurship and direct sales and those kind of things. It's you guys that actually make yourself successful or not. It's not even the company you're with. It's not the comp plan. It's not the products. At the end of the day, it's you, and it's if you back yourself or not. So it's an important topic of discussion. And if you're not familiar with my lives or we haven't met before, my name's Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. And at the beginning of every week, I share something to do with personal growth and personal development. So that's this video. So I start every week with something to help you think about how you can be more successful, how you can grow to be a better version of yourself to make sure that you have a successful business. So that's today's video. But before I get into the content, I just want to remind you of a few things. Up above in the description, I've got the link for our Clubhouse tomorrow. So those of you that are on Clubhouse, we do a weekly Clubhouse room, and we are giving away free training, myself and some amazing entrepreneur friends of mine, just once a week. If you click on the link above, you'll see the time and the date and all the rest of it. So the link to tomorrow's Clubhouse is up above. Also, congratulations to our video challenges that just finished, our 21-day online crew video challenge. The auditing is happening this week, and I will be announcing probably next week, our top 15 or top 10, however that sort of plays out. So well done and congratulations to those that just finished the 21-day online crew video challenge. Well done to you guys. Online crew coaching members, keep out your eye on for the training in 2 days' time regarding Reels. I'm doing a training for you guys on how to get started with Reels in the coaching community. If you want to join us for that training and get all my other practical training, social media training, the link is above. You can get in there for $1. And the other thing I wanted to remind you of is the 23rd round of my branding course starts next Monday. So if you have not established your brand, if you're really confused about what kind of content to talk about on social media and you're in this industry, then you might want to jump on that course. So the details are above. So who's here today? Let's say quick hellos. We've got Crystal, we've got Cynthia, we've got Cherie, we've got Deb, we've got Debbie. We've got Judy and Bob in the house. How are you? Great to see you on. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. We've got Heather. We've got Donna. Congratulations to all the video challenges, including yourself, Miss Crystal, was part of that challenge as well. So these are the kind of topics that sometimes people gloss over with what I'm talking about fear and belief, but they are the most things to be in tune with regarding your success, because fear holds you back. And a lack of self-belief holds you back. Lack of belief can even be a money thing. If you or no one in your family has ever earned a lot of money, sometimes it's hard for you to believe that you're going to make a lot of money. Does that make sense to you? Would that be a fair assumption that might run through your mind regarding sort of money? So fear and lack of belief is what squashes a lot of people's confidence, and therefore they don't take the action that they need to take to get where they need to go. So I want to share 5 things with you to think about in relation to knocking the fear on the head and building your belief. So you ready for these 5? I'm going to run through them. Number 1 is to really question yourself when you've got a lack of belief, or, that little voice crops into your head that you don't know if you can do it, or you don't know if this industry is for you, or you don't really know if you can be successful, is to really think about and analyze and evaluate what is it that you're actually fearing. Like really dive deep into that. What are you scared of? What are you afraid of? And actually really think about that, because you know what? Most of the things that you are fearful of are not really things that you should be fearful of. And there's a whole lot of thoughts that go in your head that stop you from taking the action that you need to take, that are really over exaggerated, not anything that's going to hurt you or kill you at the end of the day. It's just all stuff that runs through your head. So number one, I would encourage you to actually think about what are you actually fearful of? What is it that's stopping you doing from the things that you know you need to do? Even now, right now in your business, there are things that you know you should be doing and you're not doing them. Why not? What are you afraid of? What are you actually afraid of? And you might surprise yourself and, well, I don't know. It's not that big a deal. Like when you actually face fear front on and actually think about what are you actually really afraid of, there's nothing to be afraid of. So it's really thinking about what is it? What's the fear? There are real fears in life. I'm not discounting that, but I'm talking about in your business, in this kind of business model, what is it that you're actually fearing? Okay, and evaluating that. Number two, you have to face your fears to get over them. The only way to face your fears is to actually confront them. And you know, the longer that you don't face your fears, it escalates and it gets a whole lot worse. The longer you avoid doing something that you're scared of doing, it ends up being, you know, this massive mountain and this massive hurdle that's not really a hurdle because it's not really ever going to hurt you, but you've made it into this massive thing because you've avoided it for that long that it's become bigger than Ben-Hur. Does that make sense when I say that? So I'm going to say it again. The longer that you avoid things that you fear, the bigger they get, the bigger the fear grows. If you just get over yourself and get on with it and do the thing that you're fearful of and just back yourself and build some belief, yeah, I can do it. It's never as scary as you think it is. Do you know how many live challenges, video challenges that I've run where people say, I actually quite enjoy it. I don't know what I was so worried about. There are people that will never, ever, ever do live videos because their fear is bigger than their dreams and they're too worried about what people are going to think about them. And they let that rule their life rather than just getting on, pushing the live button and saying a few words on a live video. The fear overcomes people, but the fear is not even real. It's not even real. It's ridiculous how fear is not even real. You know what fear actually is? It's something you imagine to happen that hasn't even happened yet. That's what fear is. It's ridiculous when you really look fear in the face. But the longer you avoid something, as far as fear goes, the worse it gets. So the only way to overcome your fear and build your belief that you can actually do it is to actually go and do it. I was just talking about this with my VIPs just earlier on a call that we've had just for the last 3 hours, is how do you build belief that you can ride a bike? What do you do to let yourself know that you can ride a bike or drive a car? You go and ride the bike. You get in the car and you drive the car. You scared? You fearful? Yeah, maybe. But what builds your belief? You actually went and did it. This industry is no different. If you want to eliminate the fears of this industry, you need to go and do the things you don't want to do. It's just the way it is. The longer you avoid doing the things you know you need to do, the fear just gets bigger. You don't do it, and then you're out of this industry. That's basically how it rolls. Would that be fair to say? And that's really sad, guys. That's really sad. So just remember, you need to tell yourself this constantly. The only way to overcome your fear is to go and do the thing that you are fearful of, and that will build your belief because you go, oh, that wasn't so bad. I did it. And that builds your belief, which then eliminates the fear. The only way you can eliminate fear is to go and do the things that you are fearful of. Really important to remember in this industry. Number 3, imagine the worst. The fear will fade the more that you actually chase it. So what's the worst thing that can happen? You would have heard this before. So you're scared of reaching out to somebody. You're scared of sending somebody a message. You're scared of doing a Facebook Live. You're scared of doing something new. What's the worst thing that can happen? Are you going to die? No. So what's the problem? Sometimes we need to take our head to that space to go, what's the worst thing that can happen? You actually need to tell yourself that and go to that place to go, it's actually not that bad. The fear that you conjure up creates lack of belief in your success in the future. So if you confront your fears and allow yourself to get uncomfortable and do the things that you know you don't want to do, but you kind of have to do to be successful in this industry, you'll build the belief. Once you've got belief, then you're on your way. So many people don't even really get started in this industry because they let their fear and their lack of belief stop them. But the only way to overcome your fear and build your beliefs is to do the things that initially scare you, but they won't always scare you. The fear fades the more you do things, but unless you never do the things, you'll never get rid of the fear. You know how this works, don't you guys? Number 4, look at the real evidence of the situation. So, you know, very similar to imagining the worst. Like, look at the real evidence of the situation and the fear that's in front of you and put it into perspective. Same with a live video. Those that won't ever do it, there'll be people listening or catching the replay to this that'll never ever do a live video because their fear is so big. Like, look at the evidence of what's going to happen if you did one. Nothing. Probably no one will watch. They'll catch the replay. Like, what's the big deal? Get over yourself. Most of you will not get to where you want to go because you're in the way. And when you really dissect what's going on and what's reality and what's evidence and all those kind of things, wouldn't it just be easier in life if you just got on and did what you knew you needed to do instead of all this little voice stuff that happens? But it's reality. It's who we are as human beings. The little voice comes in and tells us we're not good enough or that feels uncomfortable. And if you've listened to me in any video in the past, especially these videos at the beginning of the week, you'll know that your brain is designed to keep you safe. So when you're feeling uncomfortable, your brain is literally going, it's okay. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. It's making you uncomfortable. So you have to deliberately be aware of that. The 5th one with dealing with fear and, you know, building the belief is you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. You need to talk it through. You need to map it out. Talk to a mentor if you've got one. Talk to an upline. Like, you've got to have a plan of attack to eliminate fear and build belief, because you've got to do the things that you know you don't need to do, and you won't do them unless you plan for them. Would that be fair to say? That unless you actually psych yourself up to do something you don't want to do, you're probably not going to do it. So you really, to set yourself up for success, you've got a plan to actually do the things that you know you don't want to do and that you're fearful of, and just do it anyway. I am so proud of the people that go through my video challenges and they are scared to do live video. They are fearful, but they know they want to do it. They know they want to build their audience. They know this is where it's at. They know it's the best way to get people to know, like, and trust them through live video. So they push themselves to do it. And those that have just finished a 21-day live video challenge are now comfortable with live video versus they weren't when they started in the beginning. They were really, really fearful, and they actually really enjoyed the experience in such a short space of time. If you just get over yourself and do what you are fearful of, you'll actually realize it's not the end of the world to go and do the things that you're scared of doing. And when you do, it builds your belief. But those of you that sit back and go, I need to build my belief before I go and do this, or before I go and do that, or I need to build up more self-confidence before I go and talk to people. If you're waiting for things to all fall in place before you go and talk to somebody, before you go and message somebody, before you do your live video or put yourself out in the social media, you are waiting. Essentially, you're just wasting your time. You need to proactively plan to do things that you don't want to do. But at the same time, when you do that, you overcome your fears. When you overcome your fears, your belief increases. Is there anybody watching live or on the replay that has just been through and finished the 21-day online crew video challenge that can vouch for that? You now believe and know that you can do it, whereas 21 days ago, perhaps you didn't. It doesn't take much effort. You just got to be willing to do it. If any of you have got a team of any sort, you really need to help and guide your team members with this, because what stops them from being successful is they don't take the action that we need to take in this industry to talk to enough people, to get enough people to say yes, to actually make a viable business. And why they don't do that is fear and lack of belief. But you only get the increase in the belief when you overcome the fears. And the only way you overcome the fears is to support somebody to do something they are very uncomfortable in doing, potentially. So we have a massive role as sponsors, ambassadors, distributors, whatever you call them in this industry. You have a huge responsibility to your teammates to have this conversation and find out what are they scared of, what are they fearful of, and help them through that process and help them to actually do the things they're scared of doing, but supporting them, because that's what's going to build their belief. And they could be little rock stars in your business, but unless you help them and guide them through that, they may not ever get off the ground. I hope that makes sense to you. But fear and lack of belief is, I see it all the time with students that I mentor. It's the main thing that holds people back. They're scared of something. They're fearful of something. They've got, these massive assumptions, or nobody will respond to me, or nobody will say yes, or, there's broad sweeping statements about what everybody's sort of doing. And so it stops them. So it's really, really important to look a face in the front on for you and your business, but also if any of you have got teammates, you need to have this conversation with them and help them through it as well. Because as I said, fear and lack of belief is what holds most people back in this industry. Yeah, this is true. That's what it stands for, fear. False evidence appearing real. It's not even real. Like I said earlier, it's something you imagine is going to happen that hasn't even happened yet and may never happen. It's really, you really dissect what fear is. It's not real. So it's weird. Everything we want is on the other side of fear. Correct. Great minds think alike. I'm scared that Facebook will shut me down again. It was a traumatic experience. It's only Facebook, Deb. There's other platforms. Get over your fear. That's just only holding you back, Deb. There are ways and means around everything. People get shut down on Facebook every single day. It's not a big deal. Move on, Deb. Don't be afraid. It's only holding you back. And if you do get shut down again, you just deal with it. You find different ways. You get help. You come and ask me what you can do. There's ways around everything. You can't live with that fear, Deb. That's not healthy for you or your business. You're just holding yourself back by hanging on to that. Just, fight your way through it. Tell your inner critic to shut up. Absolutely, Crystal. Tell the bitch on your shoulder to nick off. Yeah, from Judy. Rest her soul. That's exactly what she would be saying. Crystal, I was shared to scare my story on live video because I've done it so many times. I've had one of my viewers reach out to me and send me the most beautiful messages, and she wants to help. She wants my help to help her heal from her trauma and overcome her fears. Fabulous. If you don't overcome the fear of telling your own story, then you're missing opportunities like Crystal has got right there. When you share, you never know who's listening, and you can help heal others, which somebody's reached out to Crystal for her help. Yeah, as Judy would say, suck it up, baby. Everyone else in the world can believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. There are so many people I coach, even those in my VIP mentorship program, they know who they are. I actually believe in them more than they believe in themselves. True story. There are people here in my community that I believe in more than they believe in themselves, but it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. You've got to believe in you. You've got to believe what's possible for you. You've got to try to live a limitless life, life thought-wise. There's an abundance of money and you're going to get your share of it. There's abundance of people. You know, people that make statements that, well, there's no one else to talk to, or I'm not finding any people. There's billions of people on social media. Open your eyes and think. And the reason that you can't find people is because you're telling yourself you can't find people. The reason that you're not making any money is because you're telling yourself you can't make any money, or you're not making any money. Open your mind, open your vocabulary, open your, the possibilities up here to money and abundance of money and abundance of people and abundance of people that are ready to buy your stuff. They will present themselves. The way you think or your fears, which one are you going to let control your life? The fears to hold you back, or an abundance to let it present itself for you to have more success in your business? Okay. Get uncomfortable and learn and grow. Absolutely. Yes, I know I can do it. It's not that scary. No, it's not. Helen Martin believed in me when I had very little self-belief, and I jumped into a video challenge with both feet. That is true. I'll never forget the first call Crystal and I had, and the woman that she's grown into today from the first video challenge, and everything that she's done since is just incredible. But yeah, I believed in her at that time more than she did in herself. I'm so grateful for the video challenges, Helen. I would not be doing live video now if not for you, and telling myself I can and will. Absolutely. So hi, Helen. I'm still yet to cross this line. So just work on it and be aware of it. One of the main reasons I do this video every single week at the beginning of the week regarding something to do with personal development or personal growth is to raise your level of awareness of these kind of things so you can think about it. If you're not aware of it, you can never change things you're not aware of. If you're aware that you need to fight fear, if you're aware that you need to do things that make you uncomfortable because your brain is wired to actually talk you out of it, if you're aware of those kind of things, you got half a chance to improve. So it doesn't matter if you're not over the line yet, but just be very aware of it and what you tell yourself. Every one of you has a little voice in your head that may be working against you. You got to catch that little bugger and say, thank you, but that's not the way I choose to think moving forward. There is an abundance of money. There is abundance of people. I'm an amazing person and I deserve to be successful, and I'm going after it. Like, those are the kind of things you need to tell yourself to let opportunities and people come and present themselves to you at the right time. If you're thinking negatively, I can't do this, there's not enough people to talk to, I'm never going to be wealthy because no one in my family ever has, I never know what the right thing to say is, I don't want to stuff this up, so you don't say anything at all, you second guess everything you do. If that's the place you come from, you're never going to be successful, because what you focus on, you get more of. And if you're always second guessing yourself and questioning yourself as to whether you can be successful or make money or those kind of things, it'll never happen for you. So we're in a mindset game more than anything else with success in this business. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there. They're my words of wisdom today. Take those 5 things that I shared with you and analyze the things that scare you and the fears that you know that you have, and sit with that. Think about it and go, I know I'm holding myself back. What's the reason I'm holding myself back? And actually work out what your fears are. Work out what your lack of belief is in yourself so you know what you're dealing with. If you don't think about this stuff and you're not aware of it, you can't change it. You can only change things that you're aware of. So I encourage you to think about this deeply and brainstorm with yourself about what you know holds you back, and then go and face it front on. Because that's the only way you're going to fight through the fear and build your belief and build the business, amazing business that you can have. You're all capable of it. We've all only got 24 hours a day. We're all born with the same ability to be amazing. You've just got to discover your greatness, step into it, and allow for yourself to actually follow that through with fear. Okay? It's all up to you. but I'm right behind you, and I talk about this kind of stuff to try to help you push through the fears so you can be the person that you want to be and have the business that you want to have. So take on that and hopefully do something with this information. And I will look forward to seeing you guys same time tomorrow. Okay? See ya.